Hello and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. My name is Lavaita and I'll be your storyteller for this game of Hunter, The Reckoning. We are going to be playing Whirl and Rush, which is set alongside our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Fall of London. If you haven't been following the vampire side of things, you can see that on Friday before we play this. I'll put a screen up at the end to show when the dates are of the next one, or you can wait and see them on YouTube. Before we get started, just to warn sensitive viewers, this is a horror story we're telling here. We've done our lines and veils. The players have the virtual equivalent of an X card that they can show. I can't take that level of care over you, dear viewer, so please look after yourselves. Now let's introduce the players and get started. Can you just say who you are, the name of your character? I appreciate one of these characters is new to us tonight. Whoever wants to can start.
All right, I'll go. Fuck it.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Logan.
Everyone starts.
We all say it at once.
Evie, can we start with you and I'll work along the line from there through Logan and then to Michelle?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Evee. I'm playing Lucas Fairbanks, a very old man hunter.
Hi, everybody. I'm Logan. I'm going to be playing Felix Ducat, who's a rather portly and short and surly Frenchman who likes to hunt and also smoke a lot of cigarettes and try to find a good croissant.
And by no means least, Michelle.
I'm Michelle. I'm Michelle. I'm playing Sonia Bacon, a late 20s massive autistic nerd who has no place in the world of darkness, but there she is, hunting vampires.
And why not? We're going to take a slight time jump since we last played. So we last played, the first game we played was set in August 2011. We're now into March 2012. It's going to be, I've made a note of this because it's very important. I track the dates here. This is not helpful. I have too many bits of paper and notes around. I think it's Monday the 6th. But I'm going to check through my notes while we do that. What have you been doing in the time since we last played? Whoever wants to can go. Obviously, we'll have to explain how Evee came into things.
I could start. So Sonia essentially returned home after everything that happened in the first session and asked Millie about who put Donna in the dead oak. But over time, just sort of let that slide. She just basically sat there waiting to be informed of the plan by the person who she met. That never happened, so she just lives life as normal. She hunts vampires to varying levels of success. She hangs out with her friend Seth, who do nerdy stuff. She invites Felix around and shows him how to play Super Smash Brothers on a GameCube emulator on her computer. Tries to get him into watching people opening Pokemon card blister packs on YouTube. I'll leave that up to him, how he enjoys that. And she invites him to Comic-Con, where she attends with her friend Seth, dressed as Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the last episode of Season 1. Leather coat, white fancy dress, and has lots of pictures, takes lots and lots of pictures of her and Seth, as Seth is dressed as Giles. Millie found all of this very confusing as she refuses to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But yeah, basically life carries on as normal. She just waits for the call and it never comes. But I'll leave that up to Felix, whether Felix did indeed attend Comic-Con. Oh, and at some point she shows Felix the film Leon as well. But I'll leave up to Felix if he enjoyed any of this or if he attended Comic-Con with Sonia. And that has been the last 6-7 months for Sonia.
I need to remember to unmute myself on the stream. So Felix, what have you been up to?
Oh, sorry, one last thing.
Oh, sorry.
Millie also showed taught Sonia a few new tricks, so now her staff helps her avoid being harmed by supernatural forces. That's it. That's everything.
Yeah, so I think Felix would initially reject a lot of these overtures, but then he's so damn curious about this like Raphaelite thing that you say is happening. So he would like eventually you'd wear him down and he'd start doing stuff just to kind of hang out. And I think you'd find him like snooping in the cupboards or trying to read books and like I don't know, rooting through Millie's things and just being an ass essentially. But like, he's desperate for info and he doesn't know if this thing that you told him is true. So he's trying to like trust but verify. He wants to know if like these allies are dependable or not. So I think you could probably convince him to do some stuff. I don't know if he'd go to Comic Con. I think he'd be like really nervous around that many people. But anytime you bring up the Donna tree thing, like he's laser focused on that. I think he would be I think he would assume that the police are not going to do anything about it. And he's always feels compelled to do something about these sorts of things because he thinks that society just lets it fall through. And it's World of Darkness, so they probably do. So he would probably do a lot of that. I think, oh, geez, he would work on connections in London as well about trying to find people that could supply him with components to weapons and things like that. I think he has this plan that he's going to equip the next generation with weapons to fight the supernatural and stuff like that, but he just doesn't have all of the shit together yet. So he would like work on that. He is very good at forging documents, especially like identification documents and stuff. So I think for months he's just kind of trying to work his way into circles where like he can trade favors for people and get a hold of components that he can then turn into stuff that's untraceable. Because I don't think it does anybody any good to have weapons and the government also know where those weapons are and where they came from. So he likes to like build it piece by piece himself in his workshop. And I think the last thing that Felix is super interested in is last game we delivered like a list of people that was super important to some guy we don't know. And Felix asked him if he could have a look at that. And the dude was like, hell no. And like put it in a drawer or something. And so I think he's probably like, well, you know, I tried the polite route. So he's going to try to see if he can get in there some way and get a look at the contents and copy them.
And we're going to come back to that because I want to roll for that. And that can be where our story part of things will start. So, Lucas, how did we find you?
That's a good question. How did you find me? I like to think that with Sonia's gaggle of supporting characters, one of them has found Lucas and knows that Lucas is a savant when it comes to everything vampire. His knowledge is...
If it helps, there's only two. There's Millie, who knows everything, and there's Seth, who is just like a nerdy trans dude who hangs around and occasionally looks stuff up online for her. That's it.
And there's Crypto the dog. I'm going to suggest that maybe Sonia found out about Lucas through a network of that she's in.
Yeah, like Lucas is a known figure, and they probably picked him to help out considering I am suspect with the forces of Saint Leopold. It's not that they don't want to deal with me, it's just it's a very weird person who lives in a very scary looking house. He probably is doing devil shit in there, who knows? But I think that's probably how the party meets me, is people say, hey, go see this guy, his knowledge on vampires borders on the obsessive.
Okay, so I'm going to say that our story, although we'll come into this properly on the 6th of March 2012, we're going to start the weekend before with Felix attempting to break into the house that you visited during the first episode. So I was remiss, I didn't do a full, the story so far. Back in August, Sonia and Felix delivered a package on behalf of someone they met in a car park in South London to someone else who it turned out needed this massive package which contained a list of pretty much every vampire and their businesses in the whole of the London area. There was also 2 USB memory sticks in there and a red stone. On the way back, they found a dead body in a tree, which is a bit disturbing. There was some other stuff with the dead body, but to be honest, if you want all additional information on that, you can go back and look. It's on YouTube. The VOD is still on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, you can find out all the stuff at the end of that. So, the weekend before, which is the 3rd and the 4th of March, Felix is trying to break into this apartment, large house, where you delivered the package to. You're trying to find out if if you can obtain the list. Is that correct? I'm not hearing you. Is everything okay?
Yeah. You were talking to
Yeah,
Logan,
it
right?
sounded like
Yeah.
you guys dropped for me. I don't know. Am I
Oh,
here?
right. Sorry. It all froze for a second. I was like, am I just here by myself?
Okay, cool.
What's
I
going on?
missed what you said. Sorry.
Okay, so you're breaking in. I want to do a couple of rolls for this to see how this pans out. So can you give me?
Oh,
I think we'll
okay.
do 2 rolls. We'll do 1 roll for the breaking in and 1 roll for the searching the apartment. So how do you want to break in? Is this
Okay.
feeling like a dexterity larceny kind of thing, or is this something different?
Yeah, I think so, but I think I would like to use my improvised gear to like kind of cobble together like a lock picker gun. Like, have you ever seen those? Lots of criminals have them, and they're fun. So basically, the improvised gear would give me like extra dice on my breaking and entering.
What I'm going
if
to
I
do
was
is
able to pull that
rearrange my dice to see, like, to what extent this is going to help you. So I'm going to do a quick roll, just for the sake of randomizing it a little bit, about how good this device is. Okay, you get +2. So give me a dexterity larceny, and we'll add 2 successes onto it. Oh no, dexterity larceny with 2 additional dice. I should say. You're muted, Logan. I don't know if you intend to be.
No, sorry, I'm just clicking through trying.
Oh yeah,
to,
roll 20
get that
stuff.
roll
That's
set up
fine.
for us.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So dice. Yeah. So I'm just staring into the sun
It's
while
fine.
I do that.
I'm usually that person,
yeah.
but like we can tell from the clicking, like, oh yeah, someone's doing roll 20. Get 4 successes. Let me double check how I'm feeling about this. Yeah, I think you managed to break in.
Also, just as an aside, I think I've got to do. Oh, I was going to say for improvised gear, I think I've got to do int and craft to make the auto picker thing first, and then.
I think because you're not under any
Unless you just wanna say
pressure,
it
like
happened.
if it had gone wrong, you could have just done it again, which is one of the reasons I was rolling to see what benefit you were going to get from it. So I was like, rather than make you do that roll, because actually it would just be you rolling over and over again. Let's just say you've done this, and this is the thing you've come up with to this level. I think with 4 successes, you've got in successfully. I don't know what's happening with Michelle now. I'm getting worried about my internet connection. It should be okay. It's all looking green here. You get into the flat okay. I'm going to see you break in through a door or a downstairs window. And going up to the upstairs room where you saw the drawer was, can you give me a... I figured out what this was earlier. Stealth and... No, it's not stealth. It's the other thing. Wits investigation. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. What's investigation coming up?
Okay, and I'm going to try and... Because I had my handy list of interesting rolls to make sure that I'm not just doing the same things over and over.
All right, 2.
2 successes. Okay. You had a cursory look around. No alarms seem to be going off, so that part of things seems to have gone okay. But the drawer hasn't got the list in it. You've looked through a couple of the other drawers. You've looked quickly through the bookcases, but there's no sign of the thing you're looking for there. The flat is so tiny that it's quite possible that there's nothing else there that you can find. Like, it's almost like hardly anyone lives here. It looks almost like an Airbnb kind of deal.
I think in that case, I would try to put up some kind of like I don't know, like either like a listening device or like a camera, like some small little bug, maybe even in the back of the drawer, so that I could see like if someone opened that drawer and put something in it.
Oh, okay. So this is to listen for it, or do you want like a camera, or?
I think maybe a camera, like maybe some kind of like device that I cobbled together on the fly to jam in there.
And that's going to send like video back to somewhere you can look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do your roll for putting together your device for this then? Oh, good grief, that's 9 dice you've rolled and you've got 2.
Oh man, just so few successes for 9 dice.
I know. That's just how it goes sometimes. Michelle is on her way back. She's having some issues with the internet. I think with 2, you've cobbled together a thing, but we'll have to see how long that's going to work for. I might start a little clock on that one in a vaguely Blade in the Dark style to see how much material you're going to get from that. I think with 4 successes, I'm not going to make you roll again to get back out again. Do you want to do anything to try and hide that you were there, apart from leaving the device, obviously?
I mean, I think he's just naturally very cautious. Like, he doesn't touch really anything that he doesn't have to and stuff like that. But if you want, I can, like, roll a stealth something on my way out.
Let's make this spicy. Let's do intelligence stealth for this one, seeing as you're being careful and you're not having to like worry about breaking in the first place. I don't want to do another larceny, so yeah, let's do an intelligence stealth.
Got 3.
3's enough, I think. So you managed to get out and you're leaving it looking like you hadn't been there. Unless he's got some kind of sensor or there's hidden cameras of his own somewhere, there's no reason anyone would know that you were in there.
Okay, cool.
I want to bring Sonia into this, but I'm going to hang on until Michelle gets back. Evee, what's happening with you just now? You've been working on your academic stuff. I should say Lucas. I'm trying to use character names rather than name names.
Yeah.
So you've been made aware that there is a designate of Raphael, who is a sort of vampire slayer, who is starting to make themselves known a little bit in London. It's not. There's always one somewhere in the world, and in this case, for the last couple of years, there's been one in London. But she's taking her time to make herself known and obvious. And now you found out about her. Where is your house in London, roughly? Do you know? It's possible you don't know London at all, in which case I'll help you decide where this is going. But are you picturing like a kind of wooded area, or like a park kind of area, or are you like in a very urban fancy area? Because you've got a
bougiest place you can put me.
Okay. Again, Michelle may have something to say about this, but I'm thinking I should just set my Google Maps location to be London, so it just starts there at the moment.
He is a man of means.
He is, and I'm thinking for that reason we put you in like Chelsea, maybe Kensington.
Chelsea.
Nice. There's like an area around like between the Thames and like the Royal Albert Hall kind of area, which is very fancy.
Yeah, like where all the older townhouse looking things are.
Not exclusively, but we could put an older townhouse there and it wouldn't be out of place.
Yeah, because I have the vision of the safe house being more like old Victorian mansion.
Yeah, and I'm also imagining
sort
like
of
being
deal.
set back from the road, and that's not nothing in central London. Like you don't get a lot of things that are set back from the road there.
Yeah, I can take a townhouse, so it don't really matter. There's a
Okay,
nudie
we'll
bar over
hammer
here.
down roughly where it is later, but right now I'm kind of imagining it Chelsea, South Kensington kind of area.
Yeah.
So not that far away from the flat that Felix just broken into. To be honest, like the flat is on the. I can do directions. The west side of Hyde Park, and you are kind of south of Hyde Park. So that's roughly where things are at just now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping Michelle will be back soon.
Come back to us, Michelle.
She's rebooting, so it's just a question of how long that takes and whether the. I know she had issues with her router at the weekend as well, because when another game which she was running, the whole thing dropped out for a second. It's just I don't want to plant the seeds for the next bit without everyone here. I might go to BRB for a sec and then we can come back. Because also it means we can just take a break and have a little drink or something until she's here. And we can. Okay, we'll be right back, everyone. Sorry about this. Right, thank you for that. We got Michelle back, so that's all good. So Evee,
OneDrive.
OneDrive is a problem.
OneDrive is a big problem.
OneDrive
It's a
backs up
menace.
when it wants to back up, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a console that turns itself on at 3 o'clock in the morning every day to check for updates as well. Anyway, Sonia has and Lucas are now aware of each other. Felix has dropped the bug off. We're looking at Tuesday. It's March. I hadn't intended for us to be playing this in March and also have the game set in March. I planned this in months ago. That's just how it's worked out. It is a partly sunny kind of day. I've got to know that the sun rose at about 6:30 in the morning. It's Sonia meeting Lucas. If Sonia and Lucas are meeting, is that going to potentially happen like outside somewhere, or are they going to meet at one of the others?
I can imagine that I will be basically following. I'd imagine it was Millie that got in touch with him, so
Yeah.
I imagine that I'm just going to meet him with her at a place of their choosing.
Okay, Lucas, we talked a little bit earlier about what you know about what's going on, just that a lot of the hunter organisations have partly gone quiet and some of them have popped up in London for meetings.
Yes. Whether Lucas has attended those at all is up to you.
I think probably not, but I think you're just like, oh, the people I used to know are suddenly popping up in town.
Yeah. He knows that this. Like from the Occult 3, he knows that this is the realm of the Bull God. This does scare the crap out of him. Because if it's somebody who is old enough to be called Mithras, that's not good.
I'm not sure if Mithras's name is going to be mentioned around the hunter orgs at the moment.
No, but he knows, like...
Yeah, you know the history of London. You know what the deal is there.
If they're organizing something in here, it's safe to assume that the vampires know something's going down. But other than that, he is just minding his own business until he's called upon, which he has been by Millie. How they know each other.
I think Millie's just been reaching out to various people who might know stuff that could be useful, because now that Sonia has been involved in an actual event taking stuff to a hunter org, so Millie's been gently trying to sort of get more and more contacts to help Sonia's progress into the other people in London who know about some of the stuff that she needs to know.
Yeah, then Lucas would probably have them meet him at his home. The home that has a room in it that is heavily warded, so if they are servants of darkness, I'm just going to run away from them and hide in my library and tell them to leave.
That'll work for a while. Sonia, are you riding your bike there, or are you getting there by some other means?
I'm riding my bike.
The famous yellow Brompton.
Yep, with my pink cat-eared helmet. And
Does it have tassels on the handlebars?
it does not. But only because she thought that would be too much.
You've lost points.
Okay.
As Sonia is riding in to where Lucas lives, what kind of building does this look like? You can be as free with it as you want. You don't have to describe an actual building in Kensington and Chelsea.
It does look like a very. It is, from what I've been told, in the bougie place of London. I don't know. So I'm thinking like an old Victorian townhouse that has an air of creepiness, almost like it's been like a time capsule. It's been locked in the Victorian era. It has smog coming out of it. has a gas lamp outside, mainly because Lucas thinks the gas lamp looks good, and he changes it himself.
Okay, as I approach, I'm thinking, wow, if I was going to meet like an old-timey vampire hunter type person, this is exactly the kind of place I would have pictured him living. And I knock on the door. After tying my Brompton to a gate outside his place.
You've tied it to my gate. That's
I've locked
awesome.
it there. I've locked it with one of those locks.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Bike theft in London's no joke, man. It's
That's true.
It's epidemic. It's an epidemic.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, he's gonna open the door. Were you followed?
I don't think so. Would I be followed?
Lucas does open the door. And were you followed?
I don't think so.
I see. Enter then.
Thanks. So you see before you a very short, like late 20s woman with brown hair, wearing a t-shirt that just says "Jigglypuff is mine" on it, and on her back she has a relatively short quarterstaff, a lot shorter than most quarterstaffs are. And I just walk in and say, "I'm Sonia. I'm Raphael's designated, or is it designate? I don't know. I keep getting them mixed up."
I've been reading up on what you are, and it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. So, who are you?
I am Lucas Fairbanks. I used to work for the Arcanum. I am a specialist when it comes to understanding the Canite plague.
Oh, vampires.
We don't use the V word in this household.
Why?
I feel like it's a slur when they call themselves Canites or Kindred or Licks, I guess. That's another one I've heard.
But like in all of like everything I've ever read, they're called vampires. Like they drink blood. They don't like holy things.
That wholly depends. Yes, I do study vampires, if we're going to be layman's terms about it.
Well, that's cool. Maybe I could learn a lot from you. I haven't been doing this that long. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing or if I'm doing the right thing or like enough of the right thing, because Millie just sends me places and then I hit vampires with my stick. And like this angel thing, or I think it was an angel, probably an angel, took me out of my body and I became, I didn't have like sight or sound or ears anymore. I was like energy, and this energy communicated with me, not in words, but in something else. And I was like, you know what? I always kind of wanted to be a superhero, so why not? And then I woke up and I can now do this stuff. And she like lifts up the staff and it lights up and goes, look at Look what I can do. That's cool, right?
I would suggest not trivializing your gift as a toy, but yes, it is rather cool.
I mean, hey, look, from everyone I've met since I started doing this, a lot of people are quite like down in the dumps about everything. But if you can't enjoy the little things, like this is cool. This is pretty great. Like I mean, I've seen a lot of very dark and terrible things, so I'm going to focus on the cool stuff. Just to Am I talking too much? I think I'm talking too much. I'm going to be quiet.
No, you are talking just fine. It's all right.
So
I understand the excitement.
So I just talk when I'm nervous because I mean I saw this house and it's a little bit I think I mean I've not seen houses like this in London really that often.
This house has been in my family for generations.
I mean you got really lucky that it survived World War II because like most of London was apparently reduced to rubble. Or did you have like magic stuff? Did magic stuff protect this house from the shelling in the Blitz?
I'm sure something magical did happen. Touches his nose.
That's so cool. See, you're doing it too. You think this stuff's cool as well.
It is certainly interesting.
Well, you know what? Let's get down to business before I start like info dumping all of my excitement on you. How can I be of assistance?
I'm old. I need a spry young person to hit things with the stick.
Well, I'm your girl.
Wonderful. You see in his hand, because he was holding it kind of behind him, but as you've entered, he's held it in both hands, a very old looking Winchester repeating rifle, which he has now since racked and cleared.
That's really old.
Again, much like this house, this gun has been in my family for generations.
So that's what you use?
Yes. Used to use it a lot. Now I don't.
Huh. You don't do many hunts yourself these days?
No, if I die, then this place goes up in smoke, or my old colleagues come and steal all my books, or the society comes in and steals all my books.
The society?
Leopoldites.
Oh, they suck.
They have different ways of doing things. I don't.
Yeah, mostly trying to kill me every few months.
Oh, I wasn't aware they tried to kill somebody who says they're descendant from an angel, but interesting.
Well, they think I'm an abomination.
Typical Leopoldites, killing things they don't understand instead of studying it.
Well, they try. They never succeed. No, well, that makes me sound like I'm a lot better at this than I actually am. I tend to run away.
Well, they are meeting a lot more with the other organizations. We'll probably see more of them before our labors are done.
A few months back, I met a guy who was sort of plotting some kind of... well, he said he was going to find a way to end all the vampires in London. Are you part of that?
No, I'm not tangling with the minions of the Bull God. That's a horrible idea.
That's what they're called, the minions of the Bull God?
That's what I called them.
They didn't tell me what they were called.
The Cainites here seem to be rallied around either the idea of an old Persian god, or given the fact that some gods are attributed to their kind, an actual honest-to-God Persian general who is now leading them in London. So either they want to kill him, which I wish them the most earnest of luck, because one fact you learn about these creatures quite early on is as they get older, they get more powerful. And some of the oldest ones can make you explode in your skin, or make you turn your weapons on yourself or others. I wish them luck. I would like to see this city cleansed, but I don't see it happening in any of our lifetimes. I don't think they're going to pull that stunt they did in Vienna again.
What do they do in Vienna?
To my knowledge, they blew up a rather important structure of Cainite power and have turned it into rubble with drone strikes and bombs and all kinds of other tomfoolery.
So by destroying this relic or artifact, that killed all the vampires in Vienna?
No, it scattered them.
No, I thought it would be easy, like how Tony Stark deals with the Chitauri in the Avengers.
I don't think the Avengers is out yet, is it?
I know it came out in 2012. I don't know when. I that's all I know.
The future sight is happening.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
There'll be something in the
Alternate
comics.
universe.
Yeah, screw it. It's a comic book reference. That's what it is.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it is great.
Oh, it was Avengers Assembled. The 2010 to current day run by Mark Waid and Clarissa Clarkson. It's really good. You should check it out. Do you have Marvel Unlimited? Do you have the internet here? I can give you my password.
We have the internet here. I just don't use it.
Sonia looks really confused. As why would someone use the internet? This does not compute. She's going to move on.
I've made the arch boomer.
Wait,
So,
hold on. So we
anyway.
have biblically accurate Frenchman and arch boomer.
The arch boomer.
What a group. What a group. So Sonia says, okay, so this guy that I met is part of a group that wants to destroy an artifact in London, and he hopes that doing that will destroy the vampires, but you don't think that that's going to work?
I don't think it is as simple as destroying an artifact.
It really is, from what I've read. I mean, I've been reading up about the various exploits of my predecessors, and honestly, it feels like sometimes that they were always fighting a losing battle. Like, I must have killed like 20 vampires at this point, and that's not even. And these are the ones that like live in the sewers, and some of them look a bit like more like rats, and some of them are just quite weak and kind of pathetic. Like I'm not making any headway, and I don't think any of my predecessors did. So I can't imagine that getting to the heart of things is going to be easy if I've been struggling to do what little I've been doing.
It is a labor, one that for you were born with, and one that I picked.
How did you pick it?
My family, when you come of age as a boy, are told the exploits of your parent, in my case, my father, and how my father went to many different places in the world and murdered many different monsters. There is worse than vampires out there.
Millie's mentioned some things before, but I've not really heard of that much.
Tale for another night, I suppose.
Yeah.
But when I was told they exist, I was handed this heirloom from when one of my great grandfathers went out to the bayou of Louisiana and went hunting for monsters there.
Sounds like we're more similar than you may think, because it doesn't sound like you necessarily had a choice either.
My eyes were opened to what this world has, and my father gave me the choice to ignore it and just go about my life, which is what my sister picked. She's no longer with us. Or to walk this path, which I decided to do.
I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm very glad that it's no longer just me and Millie and my friend Steph.
There's more of us in other places. The States.
It's people must have banded together before, though, right? Like, have you met Logan? No, sorry, have you met Felix?
I'm just gonna. No, I've not.
Wait, am I there?
Felix,
Step out from behind a bus.
hang on, getting to you. You've had a text from your friend Deepti. I'm not sure if she
Deepti.
pronounced her name. One of her
Deepti.
friends, who lives on a social housing estate, has been having a really weird time. She says there's some weird stuff happening, and that sounds like it's the kind of thing that you're normally interested in. And would you be interested in checking it out?
For Deepti? Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The address is that it's in Kensington, but south of where you are, where Sonia and Lucas are just now. So that it's south of the river. But you have the option of potentially telling Sonia, or do you want to go there yourself and check it out?
He's not much of a team player yet. Like, maybe we can grow if we live. But he's gonna hop on his Vespa and head on over. Chain smoking, as is his wont.
Okay. Give me a quick sec while I get my description for this bit, because too many documents open.
As an aside, I think he really liked watching Leon with Sonia. He had issues with the relationships, but otherwise.
Been mentioned. I bet Sonia had something to say about it whilst they were watching it as well.
Oh, she did, at length.
The place that you're being sent to is called the Powell Estate. It's a sort of social housing area near a large park, which is next to a major cricket ground. It's got 6 18-storey buildings with a square in the centre. There's parking below around each block. But the building you're interested in is a long, lower one that's set back a little bit between the 6 tall buildings and the street. It's called Greenock House. It's only got 7 floors. There's like a ground floor, and then above that there's like each residence is across 2 floors. So there's like 3 levels, but 6 floors. That makes sense? The address you've gone to is it's unlocked when you get there. It's a it's a single apartment. It's got downstairs as you come in, there's like stairs off to the left. There's a couple of cupboards in the hallway. There's like a lounge area with a small kitchen off it and a balcony. All the curtains are drawn. If you wanted to look upstairs, I'll just do a quick description. Upstairs there's like 3 bedrooms, one of them very small, 2 of them medium-sized. They look like they've been decorated. They look like they haven't been decorated, except in one of them, not only are the curtains drawn, but there's a big like a kitchen worktop pressed up against the window.
So just to get my bearings, this was like a friend of Deepti's that was like, "Hey, weird stuff's happening."
Well, it's
at my
someone else who
place."
lives in the building who's a friend of Deepti's. And if you give me a second, what I'll just put is a diagram in Roll20 of what this apartment looks like. If I can
Cool.
remember.
I was just trying to see if I was supposed to meet like their friend and introduce myself, or if I was just poking around.
She doesn't say that her friend is there, although I guess if you messaged her to ask, she could put you in touch with the friend. But I made a scene for this, and now I'm running Roll20 on a very small screen, so it's like trying to wallpaper your flat through the letterbox. So in a second, that should come up for you as a map in Roll20.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, cool. So you've got the reception room downstairs with the balcony. There's a little kitchen off to the right from there. Then upstairs you've got a small bedroom at the front, a pretty big bedroom at the front on the right, and then at the back there's the bedroom I described that has the wooden thing pressed up against it. So the curtains are closed, there's blinds closed, and then the wooden thing is pressed up against the window as well. But the whole apartment is kind of it looks like it's not been decorated since the 80s. Nothing's particularly modern in there. It doesn't smell bad, it's not dirty, it's not unclean, it's just antiquated.
So his like hackles are a little bit up. Like he was already forewarned, like, hey, weird stuff. And then seeing like windows having coverings over them and stuff, he's starting to get a little bit of a vibe.
But it is
He's gonna
daytime.
look for like, yeah, he's gonna check the fridge to see if there's food in there.
The fridge is not even turned on.
All right.
And as you open the door, it looked like there had been some post, but like it'd been moved and put on a table, but it's mainly just junk mail.
Got you. Is there like a name on any of these?
There is. Give me a second. There's some addressed to Henry Brooks and some addressed to Freya Brooks.
Okay. What kind of things am I looking at? Like electricity bills?
It's
Something?
mainly pizza restaurant menus, local like handyman documents. None of those are addressed. It's all just junk mail. The stuff that's got names on it, there's like a couple of thin leaflets that are like local residents association type things. Like
Yeah, I think that's definitely made him more suspicious. There's nothing current. It's just like ad stuff.
yeah.
It's currently uninhabited. Is that what I'm getting?
There's nobody there right now, and it doesn't look like there's been anyone there for a while, apart from someone must have gone in because, one, the door is unlocked and the post has been moved.
Okay.
Sorry, my house just creaked and that was a bit weird.
No worries. Weird's good for World of Darkness.
I mean, it's just trying to get me in the zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what he can accomplish here. Yeah, I think other than poking around for anything interesting, I'm not sure what else he could do.
Do you want to do an intelligence investigation?
Yeah, we can do that.
You can use your actual dice if you want.
Yeah, I forgot I had real dice, so I'm gonna roll those, I think. Okay, I've got 5 dice. I'm guessing we don't have any desperation dice yet. So
Not for this, no.
and I don't think any of my gadgets would help me. I haven't cobbled any together, so I'm just gonna make a straight roll. Oh wow, that's 3 successes.
That's pretty good. Okay, main reception area, there's a couple of sofas, but there's nothing much of interest in there at all. Again, it looks like it's been there, but it's not been inhabited. It's not unclean. It's just not been any sign of being used very much. So you've got like a 3-seater sofa, a 2-seater, and a sort of coffee table. It's not a massive living space. The balcony doesn't look like it's been used at all. You have to draw the curtains to even see it. It's quite a small balcony, but there's like a little space where you could stand out there and enjoy the sunshine or whatever, if it's sunshine. Kitchen, it looks like it was decorated in the like early 80s and hasn't been touched since. Again, like it's mainly green cupboards and stuff. There's like a patterned tile everywhere else that isn't green cupboards or window. It looks very, very of its time. But again, it's not dirty or anything. It's just old, and like it doesn't look like anything much has been made there for a long time.
I got 2 quick questions.
Yep.
Is there like a thermometer, and if so, what is it set to? And also, does the bed look used?
The thermometer is set to like 17 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, on the fly I can't translate that into Fahrenheit, but
It's okay.
what was the other question? Sorry, the bed.
Yeah, is there like a bed, and if so, does it look made? Is it unmade?
Upstairs there is a bed in the major bedroom, and there's a bed in the back bedroom that's got the kitchen worktop pressed against the glass. It's like tidy, but it's not slept in. If you were to get close, it probably smells a bit dusty. The smaller bedroom has some children's toys in it. Not a lot, just like old children's toys. I can give you some detail on that if you want it.
That's okay. This is kind of a weird question, but how does it smell in there?
It smells like a cool-ish room. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like that. Like you're not expecting to find like a body everywhere. There's not like flies everywhere or anything like that. It just smells a little bit of dust. Nothing else out of the ordinary.
Okay, well, Felix definitely thinks there's some weird stuff going on here. Do they have any sort of computers or maybe like a writing desk where there might be some kind of like journal or anything? He's basically looking to see if like whoever is, he doesn't want to say lives here, but whoever is inhabiting this space is leaving any sort of records behind.
In the larger room at the larger bedroom at the front, there is like a makeup table, but it doesn't look like it's been used. There's no products on there that have been used lately. There's nothing that look like they've been used for writing on. There is an old computer, but it's not connected up. So there's a CRT monitor and a big beige box and a keyboard and a mouse.
Okay, I think Felix would like to maybe use his bag of junk. Like he's got this bag full of like electronic bits and stuff that he can cobble. I think he'd like to try to put some kind of device, like maybe he can quickly generate like a USB thing or something that he can stick into the computer that will send him data from it. So he can kind of see what the keystrokes are on that computer.
Okay. That would be your technology and intelligence again then, which is a good dice pool for you. I'm going to say it's like 3 successes-ish. More than that is like you get more stuff.
Okay, cool. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 more.
Yeah,
Is 7.
7? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's go. Wow, that is a lot. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 standard successes, and then I have 2 10s.
That's a double. So that's a crit. So that's 4.
6.
That's 10
plus 2 more, right?
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
10 successes. Bloody hell. Okay. This thing is going
Didn't
to work.
even use desperation dice.
Yep. Well, I mean, is this a situation where you could have used desperation dice if we were in?
I think I'm good with
kind of,
10 successes.
Got gathering information on the hunt. You don't need it, but I'm just looking for like when we do need it. Yeah, you can. Your desperation state is gathering information whilst on the hunt, doing research or breaking and entering. So when we start getting desperate, that's going to be the thing that you can get help with. Yeah, you've successfully made a little device, plugged it in. It wouldn't be noticeable from the outside. That's going to work for quite a while, I think.
He just basically wants to piggyback on any communications there. He's already got a theory.
Okay. On the way, are you going to hang on? What next in the apartment? Are you want to leave that, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's kind of like there's no one there. So I think he already thinks like he doesn't know about thin bloods or whatever. He doesn't know variations of vampireness. So he's just like, okay, I feel like there's something hinky going on here. The apartment's really cold. There's no food in here. The bed doesn't look used. Let me just kind of put a bug in this place and I'll watch it and maybe that'll confirm my suspicions, maybe not. So I think he's going to head out.
With 10 successes, do you want to leave just the USB bug? I can extend that and let you leave some other kind of bug if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. Maybe like an audio bug as well, so he could listen to conversations.
I'm going to say that you've successfully done that. It's probably taken like a little time to fabricate, but you've done it. And after that, if you want to leave, you can leave. And you'll get that.
I think he would head out. I don't know if he would ask neighbors and stuff. I feel like he knows kind of what he needs to know.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to ask neighbours and stuff, there are other people obviously in their houses, probably, although it is the middle of the day, so the working people who work during the day are probably out working. But there's an older woman who is doing the gardening in the centre square area.
Yeah, I think he would just send Deepti a text, like, essentially saying, like, he's on the case, he's made some inroads, he'll let her know when he finds out anything. He'd also ask her, like, if she's found out anything about this Raphael connection that she was supposed to be looking into for him.
Okay. You get a text back. It says, I'm on it. Thank you so much for checking, and a single kiss.
Okay. So he'll down a croissant, light up a smoke, hop on his Vespa.
I need to pay more attention to when you're not smoking.
Yes, he's smoking almost constantly, if I don't say otherwise.
Going back to the townhouse with Lucas and Sonia.
Oh boy.
I guess so Sonia says, well, I know you have your doubts and you clearly know more than me, but my mission is to destroy the curse brought down onto the earth by God before he left, leaving us with this mess. My job has been to clean it up, and I have been doing the equivalent of cleaning up the edges of the spilt milk. Now there are people saying that there is some way to at least clear London out. I think it's my duty and responsibility to find that and end the Canaanite curse in London. Are you able to help me?
I can be definitely able to help you. But the question remains whether it will be worth our while to fight this fight if we have the Leopoldites here and other groups who may or may not enjoy our company. If I can get us a don't kill the magical stick woman clause in a agreement with the Leopoldites, would that be amenable to you? And would you be able to behave yourself if we were to encounter them?
I could drop my beef with them because I never had a beef. I didn't know who the hell they were.
I am not saying you had any form of animosity towards them, but having people attempt to kill you doesn't really put them in your good graces.
No, that makes sense. No, I'm not harboring any massive urge to revenge them. I would quite like them to stop, because I keep telling them over and over again that I respect people of all faiths, even the ones that are clearly wrong.
That is certainly a way of saying things.
I literally met an angel. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
That is true.
Like, I was an atheist before because, like everyone is. There's like 5 Christians left. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There's clearly hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Christians in the United Kingdom. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, organized religion in the United Kingdom is kind of on its way out. It's 2012. Like, I didn't believe any of this stuff. Then, bang, suddenly, I was energy in the embrace of an angelic something. And glowy stick.
The glowy stick indeed.
Like, what am I supposed to think? But you know what? Like, I can be cool, all right? As long as they stop thinking of me as an abomination. Like, we could work together. Just because we have disagreements on things, and I've actually, met one of the angels that was kind of ordered by God to start this whole thing. Surely that makes me some kind of asset, right? Like, holy chosen warrior person here.
The Leopoldites prefer to have things they can control, and seemingly they believe they cannot control you, considering that when you die, it's like the Dalai Lama, they have to find the next one. And don't get me wrong, in this profession you will die. It's just what happens.
Really?
Eventually you'll get too old and too slow. Why do you think I stay in my house all day?
Well, I just figured that I'd, retire and, spend my days playing Pokemon cards with Seth.
To my knowledge, after briskly reading upon what you are, the drive to continue your mission will overwhelm any desire to retire.
Huh.
At least that's what the imbued, who are all gone, used to have wrong with them.
Who are the imbued?
People like you. There were a lot more. Now it seemingly is just you and your line of people.
Huh. Millie didn't mention anything about them.
It's not worth mentioning. They're all gone.
Well, this sucks.
Oh well, you're the last ace in the hole that humanity has. Think of it that way.
Okay, that is kind of cool. But also... You know what? Let's not think about that. Let's think about the present. And maybe if, we clear the curse, maybe that means I'll, be welcomed into whatever happens afterwards, and I'll be able to do what I want. So let's go and kill all the vampires, shall we? Let's turn that frown upside down, Lucas, and go and make this city awesome.
Of course. Why not?
So where do we start?
Well, you mentioned you had a friend.
Felix, yeah. You know what? I'll give him a call if you don't mind.
Of course. By all means.
Can I borrow your phone? I've run out of credit. I kind of used up all my data on Google Maps finding my way here.
Yes, and I'll work on getting you a new phone. Can't have you running out of minutes or whatever it is while we're out in the field, because that would be horrific.
Well, I've been
break
trying
of
to get Millie.
communication.
I've been trying to get Millie to get the Minders to pony up for a contract, but but yeah, thank you. So
I have what people would say is generational wealth. I have many companies in which my hand is involved.
Are any of them any mobile phone companies?
I don't know. Haven't been to a CEO or board meeting in 40 years.
Well, I'd love to get the new iPhone. They have 3G
Android,
now.
you're an adult now.
Best we can do is a razor.
You'll be getting Android, you're an adult now.
I've already got an Android. It's got a chin. The people watching, look up the HTC Hero. That is an actual phone that I actually owned at this time. It looks ridiculous. It almost doesn't look like a phone.
But yeah, she may use my phone. Those really old rotating phones? And there's one of those on the wall in this drawing room we're in.
You think that's a got you, but Sonia is autistic, so she probably does know the phone number.
I look at the phone and just say, that's just like one of the phones that they use in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That is cool.
Precisely what they use in that, I think.
I dial the number and I hold the thing up to my...
1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingy.
So I'm ringing Felix at this point.
Who is this on my private line?
It's Sonia.
Sonia?
You should see the phone I'm using. It's like an old one from the past. But yeah.
I need to remind you that the mic quality is probably just absolutely ass as well.
How thrilling for you, I suppose.
But yeah, Millie hooked me up with this guy called Lucas. He's a really old and wise hunter. He's part of this group called the Arcanum or Arcanium, I think. And yeah, we're gonna try and sort out. We're gonna try and figure out how to end all the vampires, and also maybe make peace with Saint Leopold people and join up with what's going on and join the fight.
A lot of these magical thinker types They all seem to believe in wonky shit.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but done.
What is Arcanum?
they're like really nerdy about vampires, but in a really cool old school way.
Is this like your Pokemons?
No, I guess in your terms, he's like a grown up.
Grown-ups is good, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, like I think we may be able to be a good team because like you've got like all the gun stuff and all the gunsmithing. I got my big magic stick, my big holy stick, and he's got brains and money.
I am eager to see this stick hit a face and make it go poof.
It's not really like a poof kind of a thing. It's kind of sometimes they melt, sometimes they just get bruised. Like it could go anyways. But anyway. But yeah.
Millie says sometimes they turn into skeleton with embers burning.
I've been told that, but I've not seen it yet. Although
I am very eager to see this.
well, hang on one sec. Lucas, can I give him your address?
Of course, if he's one of the children of Cain, he will be burnt upon entering the building.
Is this the old man that I hear in the background?
Yeah, I think he uses different words for things. I think he's saying that if you're a vampire and you enter this house, you explode.
How very insulting. I shall not bring him a croissant.
You bring me a croissant.
Oh, most definitely, mon ami.
Thanks, Han. I don't know why she called him Han. That just came out. Let's figure that out later.
He doesn't know either. He makes a face.
Here's the address. Something in Kensington.
Also, I have begun investigations in a apartment building. One of my contacts noticed something strange happening. I think it is vampire related. We should check it out.
Do you need backup? I can come to you.
Yes, I would like you to hit a vampire in the face sooner than later. You have been talking about this for months, and I have yet to see it. Every time you make them go poof, I am nowhere around. So let us put this to the test. No.
All right. Give me the address. I'll head there. I might bring Lucas with me.
No, it's okay. I come to you, and this is Lucas, and then maybe we talk about this other thing.
All right. Cool. We'll see you here when you get here.
I shall bring you a snack, but nothing for Lucas.
Come on, Felix. Like you know what we've been talking about. Bring a snack for Lucas. He might get on.
Listen, you know me. This bag is full of croissants, but if he is a dick, he does not get any.
I always find it incredible how you seem to find so many authentic croissants in this city.
When I find them, I put them in the bag, and the bag is magic, as you know.
Fair enough. Never try the ones at Sainsbury's. They are not very good. But yeah, anyway, see you soon.
I have
Other
filed
shops are available.
I have filed many a complaint against that shop.
Other
Sainsbury's.
shops are available.
He makes a beeline. Whee!
Yeah, welcome to Hunter the Bakery.
So
now, if only I could find a good espresso, I would be happy.
So while I was waiting for Felix, I say to Lucas, "Well, wait. Do you play cards?
Like bridge?
No. She reaches in the bag and pulls out a deck of Pokemon
Like
trading
one of those
cards.
magic gatherings those kids keep talking about.
Oh, this is better, right? This is based on Pokemon. The new White and Blue version 2 lot just came out. It's like so many new foils, it's unbelievable. But yeah, there's a game we can play while we wait.
Just drawing a veil over this for a moment. Felix, it'll take you about 15 minutes to get there from the Powell estate. You have to cross the river.
Probably less because he drives like a total piece of shit.
I've given you time for that, but London traffic going to be in the way. So yeah, you're going to cross the bridge at Vauxhall, and then head up into Chelsea, the lower part of Kensington, not that far from Hyde Park.
Very
middle
accurate.
fingers are thrown. Accidents dodged.
Be careful. That's where MI5 are.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. We may come back to that.
Would you like some tea? I forgot I'm such a horrible host. I've had people here in years.
Ooh, do you have any Ribena?
Earl Grey it is!
Oh, I have had mini drinks that stuff all the time. It's great. Yeah, thank you. That's great.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
I always thought it was really weird he ordered that way. Like, would he want it cold?
You know, iced tea, you know.
Earl Grey as an iced tea would not be good.
No, it would not.
That would be rubbish. But we're getting off track. Yeah.
Felix, I feel like you're arriving as the kettle finishes whistling on the stove.
Felix knows better than to get into a tea discussion with Brits.
Fists will be thrown.
I'm just glad we didn't have to explain what Ribena was.
Yeah, better not to ask, I guess.
Google it
Americans
afterwards.
don't have squash. You don't have that.
I know, but
That's
let's not do
weird
this
to me.
right now. We'll derail.
Sorry.
It's okay. If you don't know what Ribena is, Google is your friend. Enjoy. It's a fruit drink made with water.
So, yeah, Felix will rap upon the door.
I will go answer the door after setting down the tea. He sets down 3 teacups with saucers. They are the old, like, fine china, the white and blue, like, plant motif on the cup. That looks like they are definitely from the late 1800s when Victoria was queen.
So when you open the door, you look down at like a 4'5", like tree stump of a man. He's got like John Lennon round glasses, like shades on, like a leather flat cap, kind of like leather coat, like a stripy, almost like a sailor's tank top underneath, cargo pants, boots, and he's got this huge leather satchel like over one shoulder that's just like brimming with electronics and like gadgets and stuff.
The Tolkien
He's
estate
smoking.
is in a different city, my dear friend.
Do I look like someone who gives a shit about elves?
I think you have a lot of nuanced opinions on elves. Anyways, you must be Felix. Do come in. Were you followed?
Of course not.
Okay, wonderful. Puts the Winchester back on safety. The Winchester safety is I put the hammer down and pray to God that I don't bump it. If I bump it, it shoots.
I believe Sonia is within, no?
Yes, in the drawing room. Come with me.
I hope you have treated her kindly.
Of course. Why would I not?
I do not know, but she is a wonderful person, and if you have not treated her with respect, I shall know shortly.
Tad bit mercurial for my taste, but it's fine.
That was a wonderful weapon you have there, I see.
Oh, yes. I'll get more into that later on when I have time to talk about my gun.
It has a certain je ne sais quoi about it.
Indeed. He does escort you into the drawing room. It is an old drawing room. There is a very weird taxidermy in the corner of a wolf man. That was
Wait, are we talking about like half wolf, half man?
It's a
Or,
werewolf,
like-
but you know, it looks stylized. You guys don't know
You got
werewolves
a
exist.
stuffed garoo.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you really can't just throw that out there. like I'm absolutely inspecting the hell out of that.
There's a stuffed Garu in the corner. It is in its war form.
Wait, that
Don't
was
worry.
real?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a polar bear sized taxidermy Garu.
Yes. It does have like gross. It was a BSD. It was a black spiral boy. But enough about the werewolf thing. We're here to kill vampires.
Yeah, this is lore I was not prepared for today, but okay, yeah, sure. Let's just throw in a Black Spiral Dancer.
I'm just adding little eccentricities of the Hunter
fine.
family.
I casually threw Pentex into the vampire game. I'm not planning to follow it up in any way, and no one seems to have noticed. But anyway,
I am on the Pentex board of directors.
Of course you are.
So
I love being part of Death Cult.
So yeah, Felix, you were saying that you found something.
He's
staring at this fucking taxidermy thing, and he's like, yes.
My great-grandfather killed that in Africa.
Africa, you say? I have
so that elephant
similar,
gun over
there. One time, when I was in the Americans called it Louisiana, I believe, I saw something similar.
Yeah, my grandfather was involved in the Louisiana affair.
I was never able to close with it. It was a months-long game of cat and mouse, and I did not come out for the better. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
No, we're here to kill the blood-sucking ones.
Sonia, it is good to see you. I hope you have been well.
Yeah, I mean, missed you at Comic-Con. Did you get my pictures?
It is smelly and hot, and yes, I did receive your pictures.
Gotta say,
I have this for you.
Oh, you're the
Croissant.
best. Thanks. I didn't have breakfast. Oh. I start wolfing on the croissant, and I say,
it is one of the only good ones I can find in this shithole of a city.
It's incredible that you managed to find these. Like, I mean, I've never had a croissant like this. Oh, thank you.
I will not tell you how many times I have been lightly stabbed trying to find a bakery of repute.
You seem to be getting stabbed a lot more than most people I meet.
I feel it is a normal amount of stabbing for this city. I don't know.
You're looking for Birmingham if you want more stabbings. What with the razor gangs and things.
Actually, here's the thing about this is actually true. This is actually coming from my brain, but also Sonia's. There's actually more knife crime and more violent knife crime in the town of Stockton up north, near Middlesbrough. And that is a majority white town. But the way that the media focuses on knife crime as a uniquely ethnic minority issue is a form of institutional racism in the national press of the United Kingdom. And Sonia just starts info dumping about that until somebody stops her.
Is George still king? I've not left the house in quite some time.
No, it's his daughter now, and has been for like 60
So Sonia,
years.
you are telling me that I am overprepared, and he will like roll up his shirt, and he's got like an improvised stab vest made out of phone books and shit.
That's really clever, and considering that what we do, that's actually a really good idea.
And to stop the mini blade. This tea smells good.
Oh, there's some sugar there. You can take what you need. There's some milk as well.
He'll pull out like some white bread, some fluff, and a can of anchovies, and improvise a little Sammy.
You are not making a sandwich out of marshmallow fluff and anchovies.
Oh, he is.
Oh, my stomach bubbling.
Hey, don't get in the way of his salty sweetness. That he likes that.
Just a little bit of a petit poisson and the fluff en terre, and it is.
See how he makes it sound not gross? That's how much he loves it.
Sonia,
you can try.
Hello.
But yeah, I did ask. I did try to keep these on plot and ask Felix what he found, but then lots of funny things happened very quickly.
Happy to let that happen. Sonia, you've received a text.
Oh, cool.
And you can receive because you haven't got much credit, but you won't be able to reply.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Simon. We met back in August. We have progressed with the information you sent us. If you're interested in being involved, please meet me at the Mitford Arms, Millbank, near the Vauxhall Bridge. I relay that information to everyone and then say, I guess maybe that your offer to make peace with the St. Leopold Society
May not be required, Lucas, but check this out. I've been summoned.
You have been summoned, indeed.
Summoned by who?
By Richard, that guy we met a few months back. The guy I delivered the list of vampires to.
I do not recall a Richard.
Simon, I mean.
Oh yes, Simon. He had very good beans.
Beans.
I'd actually forgot about that part.
I did.
Well,
I could go back. Yes, we could talk to Simon.
Well, he wants us to meet him in Vauxhall. Well, he wants me to meet him in Vauxhall, but I'm sure you two can come along.
Yes, I shall show up, whether he likes it or not. I put something in his apartment. I hope it has borne fruit, but we shall see.
What did you put in his apartment?
Just a little eye, something. He has that list. I wish I could have gotten a peek at it, but he refused. Remember?
You put a camera in his house?
A little one. Listen, why would he not share this information with us? Are we not friends? Did I not eat his beans?
Well, because you were. If you remember, Felix, you just arrived with and followed me there. Neither of us really knew who you were at that point. Of course, I've now learned who you are, and I really like you and cherish you as a friend. But at that point, you were a strange man who pointed a gun at me in the middle of Trafalgar Square.
Listen, it was not a real gun. You were never in any danger.
Well, I knew that after the fact, but not then.
Sips his tea, watching these two have what he can only imagine is a marital.
But anyway, okay. You, if you're going to come along, let's hope that he didn't find the camera and figure out it was you. And
he would not find it. It was well disguised.
I mean, possibly, but he's also like one of the higher ups in a major hunter org, so like he will probably be careful for that kind of thing, right? I mean, Lucas,
he did not have any security on his place. I was able to pick it and look around. Not too difficult, and plus he has dealings with these bloodsuckers too. It's very suspicious. That Mauve who gave you the folder, I was unable to find information on her. She never went back to the club that I first saw her at.
They tend to enjoy the nightclubs. They used to be part of gentlemen's clubs as well. That's why the Arcanum exists, to make sure that we didn't have any in the gentlemen's club.
Maybe we should go see Simon and you bring that big fuck you rifle.
I do have a permit to allow me to have it.
All you need is a long coat like this, and he gestures at himself, and you bring that shit all over town. Nobody knows.
Well, I have a permit and a license for the permit and a permit to have the license. To have the permit.
I would still say you'll probably get some looks carrying that through central London, especially in that part of central London.
It's why I have this big bag, and he'll pull out that giant pistol that's actually just a water gun.
I feel like you may be compensating for something with that one.
Of course. This is not too difficult to understand.
Is that a water pistol?
It is, yes. Good eye. Simon did not know, and neither did Sonia.
Admittedly, I haven't really had that many guns pointed at me.
Is it filled with what I think it's filled with?
It is. One time, that Louisiana trip I told you about, I found one of these vampires, and it was very effective, but I tried it on another, and, I almost didn't make it out.
It does not work usually. I would not hedge your bets on it unless we find out that the vampire is weak to it.
For me, it is 50-50 at this point, so I keep it on me.
It's a good coin flip, but just make sure that you live past the coin flip.
Yeah, Simon said something similar. He was like, it worked on some, but not all.
Dear Storyteller, what time did Simon said we were to meet him, and where exactly were we going to meet him?
He didn't give a time. He said, I'm going to double check I see the right name here, because there's a real pub here, but we're not using that real pub, and I want everyone to be very clear that the pub has nothing to do with what we're doing here. The Mitford Arms in Millbank near the Vauxhall Bridge. It's on Riverside.
I read that and I say,
I hope one of you has a vehicle. We will not all fit on my Vespa.
Felix basically drove past it on his way here, actually, I think.
If you want to bring your bike inside the premises, it will not get stolen.
Excuse me, it is not a bike, it is a Vespa.
I know what a Vespa is. I was speaking about the one who tied her bike to the outside of my perimeter.
"Do you?
Yes, of course.
Are we driving over?"
I will make a call for one of my employees to drive us where we need to go.
Oh, that's that. Okay, that's cool. That's old school cool. Maybe I can ask him if I can sling my bike in the boot. It's a Brompton. It folds.
I'm sure it will fit in the back of the Aston Martin. It's fine.
Yeah, throw it in the Austin. That'll be
He
interesting.
does have the James Bond car.
I mean, I appreciate the character sheet's not available for everyone to see. Lucas has 3 dots in resources. This is not out of pocket at all.
He's got money.
Yeah.
He has the means.
In comparison, Sonia has 1 dot.
He is an Edwardian gentleman who lives in a Victorian-style home because he thinks it makes him look cool.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of does.
So, do you want me to skip to the part where you're at the venue? Okay.
The rifle does have the ability to look like a regular cane.
Oh.
I just have to take the buttstock off of it and then put the buttstock back on when we're about to shoot somebody.
Right, you've got a modification you can.
But if you hurl it at an enemy, does it return to your hand?
I am not Thor.
Okay, we'll get there.
You know Thor, but you don't know the Avengers.
Thor is it's a god.
Yeah, and he's in the Avengers. Well, he was in the Avengers, but then he died, and his girlfriend took over for a bit, and she was like dying of cancer. And whenever she became Thor by holding his hammer, she said the cancer advanced. It was a really good run.
Yes, Jane Foster. She made a very good Thor.
You're learning.
I'm learning. Sure I will learn by osmosis.
Oh, I'll lend you the whole run. It's really good. They're doing this whole thing, and I ramble on about how in that period of Marvel, there's a lot more female-focused things coming out, like a really new run of Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and all of that stuff that's just coming out at this time, and blah 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 blah, all the way there.
And then we montage.
Yeah, it takes about 10 minutes to get there. I'm just double checking. I think I wrote a description for what this looks like at the outside. Didn't entirely have this bit down for tonight, but that's okay.
The wage discrepancy between the characters is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Do we all have the bike there? Do we have the Vespa there? Me, I'm just gonna get the Aston Martin I own with a driver.
Listen, Felix is from around the way. He left with something. I don't know what it is yet, but he left with something.
Yeah.
A Brompton folds up to roughly the same size as like a vacuum cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Hoover, whatever you call it. So it folds quite small, so it will fit in almost any trunk or boot, as we call it in the UK.
Mm-hmm. If you stole something, as Felix is apparently wont to do,
stealing's such an ugly word.
I prefer arbitrage. If you have nicked something, I'd be very careful of what you've nicked, because there are a lot of knickknacks that may do funny things.
Yeah, we'll find out later. That's a fun thing for Lavaita to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got so many things to track now. This is
the
great.
Fairbanks have been hunters since, like, Dark Ages Inquisitor time, so there's a lot of...
Fairbanks predates the Camarilla.
They do. But yeah, I would like to drive to the pub now.
Okay, the pub is a 3-story building on Riverside, which is at the very front area. Sorry, I can't put it up on the map because I haven't made this bit of map. Well, I haven't finished this bit of map yet. There will be one in a future session. So you got Vauxhall Bridge. Off to the right of the bridge as you're heading northwest is a small row of houses, and in amongst them is this pub, and it is a... Come on, Street View, give me the thing. Yes, it's heavily based in a real place. The pub is a 4-story building that's kind of cream coloured. It's got a lot of decorative flowers and stuff, hanging baskets outside, an area outside where people can sit, but it's completely closed up just now. It's on the corner, so you've got like a bit of the front where there's like 3 windows and the doors on the corner, and then another 3 windows up the side. I'm annoyed at myself because I definitely wrote a description of this place. I wrote a description.
It's like a corner club.
I'm just
kind of,
picturing
yeah.
the pub from what was it? Shaun of the Dead.
That's an alright starting point, but we'll work on that. It's got a kind of pentagonal shaped bar in one corner. So it's like if you imagine a pentagon, but like part of it's covered over by walls. So there's like 3 sides of it that face outwards, and the staff stand behind that, and then the whole rest of the room is tables and chairs. There's an area at the back, which is like a dining area where people can sit and have meals rather than sit and have drinks at the sort of smaller, taller tables where you're kind of sitting more of on a stool than on a proper chair. But it's closed up. When you get there, Simon steps out of a car that's a little way down the street and walks towards you. Sonia, Felix, Yes, it's good. Good to see you again. I thought we could maybe use this place as a sort of base of operations for the coming times. Have you been here before?
I've cycled past it a bunch.
Yeah, back in the day it was like a prisoner transfer facility, and then it became a pub. I think downstairs there's still a couple of cells. Anyway.
That is most interesting. I see you have survived. Good for you.
Thank you kindly. If you'd like to come inside, and he takes a key from his coat pocket and unlocks the door of the pub.
This is Lucas Fairbanks. I do not believe you have met.
Are you also a hunter of sorts?
Well, I was on sabbatical from the glorious Arcanum.
Oh, the Arcanum. I am familiar. We're having some conversation with them at the moment, but I think we can elucidate further inside.
Of course. I was retired, but I'd like to come out now.
Well, if you're of the same level as them, then we may have a use for you all. Going inside, rather than staying in the bar area, he takes a small, narrow stairwell upstairs to the first floor, second floor to Americans. I'm trying to be even-handed with that. The floor above the ground floor. And from the windows, you get a great view across the river to a very imposing-looking building that I'm not going to describe right now, but I think Sonia might have an inkling what it is. And there's lots of books everywhere about spying, just dotted around the room. So it's set up like a dining room. There's tables, there's chairs, there's cutlery, but the posters and the sort of paintings and the books that are lying around up there are all to do with the history of spying and all about spying.
Look around. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you carry on.
I was just going to do. I would look around and I immediately twig and just say, "You think that there's vampires in MI5?" In fact, you know there's vampires in MI5.
I mean, we can't rule anything out. We know that they are infiltrated certain levels of the government.
They've infiltrated the government?
They've been behind the scenes for a while. I think I described when last we met that we'd done some investigating after the terrorist attacks in 2008 and discovered that they were kind of throughout
this is old news.
The matrix of things.
Yeah.
They tend to embed themselves in high society and in government. It's what they do.
That is quite correct.
I always thought the Tories had something of the night about them, but...
Come now, they haven't even done a budget yet.
Maggie Thatch was a high-level lich. That's why we had to bury her in concrete.
You're kidding.
I am.
It's never been substantiated.
Oh. I should probably point out I've been diagnosed with what they call a severe form of autism. Although I don't think it's that severe because I can look people in the eye and I can talk to people all fine and it's all fine there. I don't really know why they did that, but point being, I sometimes take things entirely at face value.
This is not a problem, Sonia. You're very perceptive.
Oh, thank you, Felix. But yeah, so I tend to do most of my fighting. I mean, I've done a lot of fighting in the sewers under London Bridge. I've done a lot of my fighting on around Elephant and Castle, sort of in a lot of the subways around there. The subways all around the roundabout. I've not really done any fighting in like the halls of power before.
Nor will you.
We're not going to expect you to. What I had in mind for you perhaps was we're planning to mount the attacks that we started planning after you furnished us with that information back in August. We've taken that information and I've been trying, well, we have, not me, I can't take credit. An attack has been coordinated, but it has not yet been carried out. You would have heard about it had it been carried out. We're going to start to pull at the edges, and then we're going to try and strike at the heart, and then work our way out from there.
You do know that won't work, right?
This is the best solution we've been able to come up with in order to get all of the major hunting organisations to collaborate on this exercise.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish you luck in that.
Well, the feeling is that with the recent development in technology and some things that have been R&D'd recently, we have a better chance than we ever have done. There are people in charge of this, particularly at the metropolitan... I can say words. Particularly at the metropolitan police level, would very much like London to be free of their influence by the time of the Olympic Games.
Well, we have about 2 months to do that. 3 months.
Indeed.
Why should we care about some political timeline? We do what we need to when we need to.
This kind of work requires all hands on deck.
I mean, think about it, Felix. The world leaders, various powerful people from almost every country that's in the Olympics, and which is pretty much all of them in this city all at once. All
Yes,
the
it
world's
is a
eyes
good
on here.
opportunity for them to get their hooks into somebody. I see.
Exactly. That's the
But
danger.
I have a question for Simon. You want us to do things for you, but the information Sonia brought you won't share with us. Why is that?
That's not been... That was to be passed directly to my superiors. And me and you, were just the means for that to be passed. It's not mine to give. But if you
Well,
choose
what
to be part
else?
of this, you will certainly be part of it. And it is the intention to rid London of all of the people on that list.
Well, if we are to be a part of this, we need certain concessions and certain guarantees. One of which being Sonia cannot be stabbed in the back by the Leopoldites, as much as they think her abomination. There are, what is the term, bigger fish to fry.
They're having to hold their breath about a lot of the other groups involved. The problem with all of these groups that we're trying to unite on this matter is that if they got along, surely they would have already done this themselves.
True. I have first-hand experience with Leopoldites. They have a stick so far up their ass it comes out of their mouth, usually.
Look, I can let bygones be bygones because my duty and my oath is everything. I will do what it takes to. I will do whatever it takes, and I will squash all the beefs with the Leopolds as long as they don't, after all this is done, decide to go back to business as usual.
How wonderful for Simon and his handlers, then, that you have shown up right when they need you most.
It's not so much that you showed up when we needed you, it's more that we were trying to gather everyone and you are part of everyone. Both
I'm
of you.
willing to do whatever is necessary.
I just don't want you to be used and tossed aside. These government types often have no interest in you as a person, only what you can do for them. And Simon here, and he like gestures at all of the books, is clearly interested in espionage. It is hard to trust one who keeps things from us. I am willing to kill vampires, of course, but Sonia is young and has much to offer. And I worry about how you will use her.
We don't plan, of course, for the death of anyone, but I can't rule it out. It's rather on your own abilities. But it would be remiss of us to run this operation without the designate of Raphael involved.
Lucas, you are old, as am I. Did you get this way by being impulsive?
No, I was very impulsive in my youth, honestly. Why do you think I don't have an eye?
Well, then you are very lucky. But perhaps I am being unfair to Simon. Why don't you tell us what you have in mind?
What we have in mind at the moment is the operation is going to go ahead with a military front to start with. And what I would like to propose is that once that operation begins, you come in behind and find out whatever you can, and then you're at liberty to chase up whatever leads you want, as long as you keep us informed what they are so that we don't overlap too much. I would hate for one operation to be put at risk by another.
I have a single question. Well, many questions, but one for now. Have you lot, all of you, the organizations involved in this operation, have you counted the civilian casualties, at least the potential civilian casualties?
To date, or
The potential when this operation starts. Not everyone's going to think military people running down the streets of London is good for the city. Some will
you
rise up.
make a valid point. We intend to keep the general public unaware as much as possible. We have the assistance of the London police, but they are not going to be made aware of exactly what it is we're running here. They will be told it's a terrorist operation that we're trying to curb.
Are we sure we're going to trust the police? 2011 was certainly not their brightest hour.
We have little other options. We're involving the local law enforcement, local security networks, both the major intelligence agencies and as many hunter organizations as we've been able to wrangle together.
My colleagues in the Arcanum have declined, most likely.
As a matter of fact, they haven't, but they are more interested in the information we're gathering than the actual operation itself. So they have been involved perhaps on the R&D side, developing new weapons and information about some of the few of those blood-sucking leeches that we've been able to capture without destroying them.
Interesting. Well, I would like for my name to maybe not be on their books, because them knocking on my door is not fun.
In principle, if you agree, we can give you this room to work in. The pub will be closed until such time as you don't need it anymore. It will give you a place to work out of here in central London, and also close by some of the people that may need to contact you or you may need to contact.
So what would you have us do first? Where do we start?
Well, they must have some targets in mind, right?
We have an operation in mind. There is an event happening later in the week that we intend to infiltrate, but I can't tell you when that is exactly because just in case. One never knows. You will be contacted as that event is starting and invited to come along before it finishes. But I can't tell you in advance.
Can
An
you at least
event.
tell us what the plan is?
The plan is to destroy as many of them as we can at the event in which they are gathered. And then any leads that we can pick up from that place, we will do so, and that is where we will move on from there. We'll be chasing up every lead that we can get.
You
So
want
it
us
sounds-
to go to... I know what this is called, and this is not a good idea, but you are running out of precious options if going to an Elysium is your idea of an operation.
It's a starting point.
A very dangerous starting point.
Okay, I'm going to need some time to prepare. I'm going to maybe have to go back home and bring Millie and a bunch of other stuff that I can use to train here. And secondly, I'm going to need £10 so I can top up my phone.
He takes £10 out of his wallet and hands you it. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I just need, out of character, I need a moment. Give me a second to do a BRB and I'll be
It's all
right back.
Felix will talk with Lucas in the meantime.
There we go. Hello, sorry about that. Right, where did we leave off? You were going to discuss amongst yourselves, I think.
Yeah, Felix was just asking Lucas about the term that he used earlier. He'd never heard it. He could tell that it was Greek, but he didn't know what it meant. So we were just kind of talking about Elysium.
Oh, yes.
That sort of thing. And so after he described, what his understanding of it was, Felix was like, it sounds like Simon and his people plan on some sort of large strike. And then he was just kind of speculating on what our role was. Like if we were just trying to mop up what remained or, what use Simon would have for us.
Well, what we're probably doing is we're going to burn and smoke these things out and chase what runs out. What doesn't make it out is none of our concern. At least that is what I feel Simon here is implying.
I can neither confirm or deny at this point, but you would be advised before you went into anything.
Understood.
Simon,
Well, I am not the best used as a fighter. As you can see, I lack the size and the strength. So
You wouldn't be the first wave.
I'm assuming I'd be in this first wave.
Potentially, but also with respect, Sonia, you're a slightly unknown quantity to us, and I wouldn't put you in front of people who are using our new technology and often firearms where you could be equally as squishy as their actual targets.
Oh, I wasn't saying that out of ego. It's just, chosen holy warrior thing. But, if you want me in another wave, look, Simon, I'll level with you. I'm happy to go whatever you want if it means that we have a shot at getting rid of all the vampires in London. But I trust people easily. That is a thing that Millie has identified as a flaw of mine. I hope you live up to my trust. But I'm willing to I'm willing to go with however you want to go. I'm willing to go with however you want to do this.
From our point of view, we've been gathering our intel for months and planning this operation. We intend to make as much of it happen within 7 to 10 days after this strike. So we've been pulling at the edges a little up until now. We don't believe that we've been noticed by anyone who's taken seriously. And what will happen soon is we will make our actual strike, and then they'll know that we're there.
Well, utilize me.
I'm sort of here asking your permission to do that.
Absolutely, you can utilize me.
We'll contact you soon.
A thing that I would like to have you bring up that has probably already been brought up, but from an independent source who knows these monsters quite well. The event you are going to hit is having some of their oldest and most powerful heavy hitters.
How to phrase this? The information we've received implies that the oldest and heavy hitters are no longer present.
Interesting. I was assuming that they would not leave the city.
It's possible rumours have circulated. It's possible something else entirely is going on. But my knowledge on this matter is limited, probably compared to yours. What I do understand is that the older ones tend to be more powerful, and there aren't any.
Interesting. Perhaps they did catch wind and have just decided to leave until you are done mopping up, and they will come back.
Or something unrelated is taking place.
Simon, before we leave, Simon, I wish to be honest with you. I do not care so much what happens to me or to Lucas. Apologies,
thank you.
Lucas. We have just met, but I do not know you. However, Sonia, I have spent many months looking into her claims, and my sources tell me that she is correct. And so, if that is true, and being the case, I believe it is so, you should not waste her frivolously. If your strike goes as planned, great. If not, you need something in reserve, and there are not many like her. So I hope that the people that give you your orders understand this and take care to preserve her.
Mr. Ducat, I, not my organization, I will take that advice to heart.
I could ask you for nothing more.
And he gives you a nod of acknowledgement.
And to avoid inflating egos any more than they may have already been, she is a one-of-a-kind thing. There used to be more of her, but not anymore. We'll have to get some books. I do believe I have some books on quarterstaff fighting somewhere. I'll have to go look at my house later.
Any training that you feel would be useful would certainly be beneficial right now.
See if I still have my grandfather's apocalypse rounds somewhere.
So it is your intention that we move in here and use it as a base?
You don't have to live here, but you can use it as a place to meet in private without any risk of anyone else being around. But also you're handy for if we need to contact you in person, which I would much prefer to do because we do not know whether they have infiltrated the communications networks to an extent. We're trying to keep everything in person as much as possible.
If we were to put people or things in here, they would be unmolested.
Certainly. Although, to cover the pub being closed, we're going to have a security door installed downstairs. So at some times during the day there may be normal workers here. They have been vetted.
I was just thinking of these cells down below. We may have some use for them.
That is a thought. I will make inquiries.
My home also used to have cells, so I did burn most of them out. The library at my home, for both of you, not for your agencies, you have the Arcanum, you have bigger libraries than mine, is free for both of you to use.
I am sorry, Sonia. I can see by your expression that this disturbs you, but these leeches are not people, and we may have use of these cells.
I'm very confused, but I'm just going to focus on the whole preparing for a big battle.
That is wise.
I'm going to put my trust in everyone in this room. Don't let me down. And Simon, I appreciate that you don't want to communicate things electronically. That makes perfect sense. I'll try and keep my electronic communications with my people to a minimum, but
you don't have to minimize your work, Sonia. Just make sure that you're not sending anything that could be... Don't send the full information, perhaps. Imagine that it's a postcard that anyone in between could read.
We may use codes.
You may if you want to go old school. But I'm not going to insist you do dead letterbox drops or anything like that.
MI5 is right across the way.
Down the road. MI6 is right across the way.
Once I top up my phone, I'll tell my people to meet me in town, and we'll discuss things there in person, and I'll bring them here from there. Maybe I'll meet them. I'll meet them outside Embankment Station or something, and we can walk down.
You may use my house as well. I'll make sure you have keys, both of you.
Thanks. In that case, it only feels fair that I also offer you my place. Although my place isn't nearly as outfitted as yours.
There is guest rooms in the second floor. And there is several bathrooms. And a well-stocked kitchen. I shouldn't call them the help, that sounds very demeaning. The wait staff do go grocery shopping on a weekly occasion.
Well, this is very interesting, but can I confirm that we have an accord?
We have an accord for now.
He offers his hand to each of you to shake. He's quite old school.
I shake his hand.
The firm as oak handshake, nearly breaking his arm.
Felix will shake.
The handshake is so strange.
He does say, keep in mind what I said about Sonia, and we shall be friends.
And I think at that point, this might be a place to draw a curtain on this session.
Yay, cool.
Excellent work, everyone. Very happy to have you on board, Evee.
Going to be a fight. Going to be a big, big fight. Going to be a big old punch-up.
Can't wait to commit player kills from across the table.
Yeah, let's see how soon I can get a hold of some weapons. No, it was great to play with you, Evee. It was great to have someone join us. Thank you so much.
Feel free to use my resources as an excuse of buying any form of illicit firearm you feel you need.
We'll have to talk because I have a safe house as well, and now that we've got like a second and third, maybe we could combine forces,
Mine's 76 Gilbert House. It is a dilapidated former council flat block where me and Millie are the only people living inside of it in a 2-bedroom flat. Have you either of you seen the film Trainspotting?
Yes.
It looks like one of the flats from that, but it's got lots of throws and things draped over the terrible stuff.
We want to be tripping balls.
I am not prepared to talk about Felix's place yet, but we'll get there.
I'm looking forward to that. I have to do the housekeeping stuff then. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, especially on Twitch and YouTube. If you aren't already subscribing, please subscribe. If you want to like it, that would be very much appreciated. The next time we play this will be the 24th of March, I think. Yes. And tomorrow there will be Die, I'm told. And then on Saturday there will be Call of Cthulhu. I'm not sure what happens after that, but you might want to join our Discord if you want to find out more information about that. The link on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, will be below. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Goodbye. Oh, actually, no, I should say everyone going to say bye separately. Yeah, sorry. Has anyone got anything they want to plug before I go? Sorry, I need to make a list.
Got Fallout on Sunday.
Fallout on Sunday. Awesome. It's a good time.
Good.
I hear that war never changes. Is that true?
It does not. It never does.
Evee, have you got anything you want to promote or?
I have nothing I do besides run freelance World of Darkness games.
Ooh.
And occasionally the 40k tabletop RPGs. That's all I normally do.
Okay, well, I'm just checking to see if there's anyone we can raid, because I do like to raid if we can, and this is a good time of day because all our American friends are starting their streams up. I'm just looking to see. First,
I like how you didn't even ask if I've got anything going on.
Have you got something going on? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought we'd had the opportunity there. No,
but tune in 2 weeks to see me do a very bad French accent, everybody.
I do love that someone in the chat in the vampire game said to look out for the person with the French accent.
Yeah, I love that they're anticipating that, and also that they were confused. For this is the game where I unleash a biblically accurate.
Are we going to be killing like the other players next week?
That's not
Next
the
session?
intention, no.
Man, I hope so.
That is
I
not
mean,
the
no.
intention. But if it happens, that'd be
That would
funny.
be terrible.
There is the apartment that
I'm
needs checking out as well.
bummed.
It is weird that we are working to eradicate all the other players in the other game. That is our stated
The other
goal.
players are not on the
We
list.
don't know that.
The other players are
Oh,
not on
wow.
the list.
Yeah, the other players just woke up, so they wouldn't be on the list.
Wow.
You know, Felix has been lobbying pretty hard to get a hold of this list, and I'm disappointed in my progress so far. But maybe we can get a hold of it.
Well, I'm going to do some dice rolls in between this and the next session. We're going to see what you're going to find out from both of the things. Right, I've not got someone else. I want to go. We're going to stop. Thank you everyone for watching again. Good night, or whatever time of day it is for you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.